Welcome to Astro Rahu Channel English. I'm your host Vishal Sathye. Today we are going to discuss for the Gemini Ascendant what happens when Sun is in the 4th house in Virgo. Here Sun rules the 3rd house and he is placed in the 4th house. Now whenever this position is there, then usually the birth is between 16th September to 15th October, and the birth, because the Sun is placed in the 4th house, the birth time is at night between 10 to 12 at night. Now whenever the Sun is in the 4th house, there are certain observations which I have always seen. Number one, because Sun here is in the 4th house and the 4th house represents the mother, so the mother here is dominating and she has a very prominent ego. And number two, the ego of the person, because the Sun represents ego, the ego of the person is attached to the home. So the person, either he feels very satisfied with his house and he is very attached with the house, or he has inferiority complex regarding the house, if at all the home is small or there is some problem with the house. And because the Sun here is in the 4th house, many a times the interaction with the father is less. Either the father is very busy or the subject, he does not actively engage with the father. So what happens is that especially when the subject grows up, because Sun represents the career and here Sun is lost in the 4th house, there is no proper direction in the career. And in fact, till 50 years of age, actually I don't want to be so much pessimistic, but at least up to the age of 30, the person doesn't get proper direction in his career unless there is a planet which is strongly placed in the 10th house. Then that planet will set off for this shortcoming of Sun being in the 4th house. And because Sun here is in Virgo in the 4th house, usually both the parents are very solid in decision making and they have that Virgo-ness in them. So they will be like, don't spend unnecessarily. Say, I'm giving you an example. If, for example, they go for shopping, then the parents will teach this person that just don't buy anything. You should look what you are getting out of, what qualities you are getting out of what you are buying and how much you are spending. Compare that, analyze that, and only then buy it. So both the parents, mother and father, they are very Mercurian and they instill those Virgo values in the subject. And there are some very typical observations that I have found out. Listen very carefully. You won't get all this stuff on any of the videos on the internet. Here, Sun rules the 3rd house and he is placed in the 4th house. Now, 3rd house represents the relatives. And Sun here is placed in a difficult sign of Virgo. So many a times I have seen in many consultations that there is some disturbance at home which is created by the relatives. And many a times the relatives are very egoistic or they are well off, and it might be the case that relatives are more well off than this person, or if that is not the case, then the relatives are just they are egoistic, and they feel there is some ego tussle with the relatives and disturbance created by relatives at home. This I have seen in certain consultations. And another thing, sometimes this can be the case that because the third house lord is placed in the fourth house, the person is putting in self effort. He has to put in self effort at home. And the fourth house represents peace of mind, it represents security. So in certain cases, if moon is not well placed, or if this is a karmic position of sun, you have to look at the chart very carefully. In some cases, actually, this might also represents insecurity in the individual, and some problem in upbringing, some problem due to which there is problem in security. This can also be seen. And as I told you, this is a karmic placement. So look at the depositor very well, where Mercury is placed, and especially look at the ascendant nakshatra. If it is Punarvasu also, then you have to look at the chart even more deeply and look at the far off the planets such as Uranus, Neptune and Pluto, where they are placed, whether they are retrograde or they are closely conjunct particular planets, and look at where Rahu is placed, Rahu Ketu are placed, and especially look where Saturn is placed. Here Saturn, the placement of Saturn is also very important. Why? Because here there can be some kind of tussle in the mother and father also, because here Saturn is the ninth lord, and the mother is many a times very egoistic, because sun being placed in the fourth house. So there can be some issues with the ninth lord and mother and father. That can also be the case. So this is a karmic placement. If this placement is in any kundli, you have to really look at the kundli in very detail. So this was my analysis on this placement, sun being placed in the fourth house in Virgo for the Gemini Ascendant. If you like the video, don't forget to press the like button and don't forget to share the video. This is very important for me. This is Vishal Sathye signing off for now. Bye.